is based on our hook flip sweep, but I really want to work on the points to this, and I'm going to teach this all next week too, because it starts out with the hook flip sweep, but then it turns into X guards, leg attacks, different sweeps. I'll hopefully do the X guard sweep, the hook flip sweep, and get to an arm press position to be able to reverse the sweep on the other side, okay? That's my goal for this week. Next week, I want to get people understanding, after today, everybody should understand a little bit better how to get underneath people and elevate. Then we can start talking about X guard and leg attacks and all those sort of things. From my experience, when the whole new, Danaher leg attack system came out, everybody was trying to just elevate people and regurgitate the end of the move. And most of the time they would get frustrated with it because they didn't know the first part, which is how do we elevate people, right? So it's never gonna be your quad. I use the system of draw. I wanna draw the person in. So if we're paying attention to this is your opponent and they're usually here, one of the #1 things I'm looking for a hook flip sweep from our single X or whatever you call it, single butterfly, is to get the hips in front of the knees, right? And that's gonna happen with your foot. So the first part of this is draw. We're always gonna try to draw the person in or draw the person forward, okay? The second part of it is where we bring them to. Because I'm bringing my leg into my chest this way, most of the time people think they need to load their weight away first and then try to catch up with the leg. Like you were throwing a pitch or trying to load up on a punch. That is not what we want to do, okay? So when we get here, we're off on this X angle. To go for the sweep, I'm gonna draw. My head's gonna work like a sickle and actually come down to this side, right? So I would draw a tuck here and end up getting to this position. Does everybody see how this is like my perfect 90? This is where we're gonna carry the weight. We don't use the actual leg extension or your quad until the very end when we're finishing the sweep. So the first part of what I want everybody to work on is getting and understanding the hook, but then also understanding the position. I'm not going to do it from here, okay? Anytime that you get here, and which underhook do I want, by the way? Leg side, right? But I can't also do this, because look how short my arm is, and he's already locking it out. So anytime that you reach for an underhook on that side, don't reach. You might set it up by going after this arm and getting him to bring the shoulder forward. But even a better part of thinking about this attack is I'm always going to try to put my arm in like this, right? So I end up leading with the elbow. We're going to talk about when the person backs out and you don't get that, but I just want to get the main part of this down first. Everybody see how my hand is on the ground when we're playing here? Because I'm sitting up, I'm going to have this base behind me until I'm ready to do something with my legs. You're going to use this hand to help you get your arm a little bit longer. How's that? I might be playing here like this, and then to get some sort of underhook, I'm gonna move this way to get to here. And if you notice, I want my head here like this. But you see how easy now my arm goes in the side because I moved myself to it. My knee was in the way before going straight in. Now if you notice the angle, my knee still works as a knee shield block. I still keep my hook. My head's gonna be here underneath his chin. I can't do everything right and then hang out like this and let him grab my neck. That defeats the purpose. So how do I know when my head is in the proper position? When I put my head on his chest and he reaches for my head, he's gonna feel like, oh man, I'm going for a ride. He's never gonna feel that way when I'm like this because his hips stay the same. So we go back and I fix it to here. Now he goes to try to grab my head. Look how he's reaching up, look how easy this is. Right, so you're gonna know what your proper head pinch positioning is by having your partner on top go, hey, look, I can grab your head from here. Hey, look, I can still grab your head from here. Oh, now I go to grab your head and what are they doing? Watch him grab my head. Watch his hips, look at his hips. They're already coming forward. Look, we're gonna bring him forward, he's already attached. This makes sense? You're not gonna do anything that you don't understand why you're doing it. So the reason why I spend a lot of time, especially at the end of the week here, really talking about the hows and whys of getting into this position, because with jiu-jitsu, when you learn something new, it's great, and then the second you try it a bunch of times live and it doesn't work, you go, not for me. And I don't want you to do that, because this is a white belt to black belt technique. Everybody can work on off-balancing people and getting in using this hook flip, but we have to have a way where we're not putting ourselves at risk doing it. I understand I can't reach. When he presses my arm, now he's gonna make me sit flat on both butt cheeks here like this. Now look, I'm taking this out. My next move is give up everything that I just worked for and then try to get it again, okay? So how I want everybody to start this is, with minimal resistance, you're gonna start here just like this, and you're gonna practice, look, moving over and getting to here, and then working into this position with my high elbow, okay? Notice where the arm is. If I start going after this now, I know he's gonna pull it away. So I'm gonna do this in steps and not complete it so you can see where I'm gonna go after the arm. Whether he already has it on the ground, or he has it here, or he's keeping it away from me, I'm going to make him put it on the ground like this. You should practice this with your partner, okay? I use my high elbow to tilt. I'm gonna draw his hips forward, and I'm gonna make him put his hand right here, whether he wants to or not, like this. There it is. Does everybody see that? Notice how much you weigh?
214.
Right, I'm carrying. Notice how we were able to elevate, so we go back down. Everybody sees what I'm waiting for on that hand. So, yes.
You have the belt, right?
I actually didn't use it, but I encourage people to grab it if so, only because it puts my elbow in the proper position. I actually like this a little bit better if I'm really gonna be working at it, is turn my hand over. But you can grab like this. I'm actually not pulling with the belt. So what I would do with the belt is exactly what I'm doing with the elbow. Look, no leg. Does everybody see how I use my elbow to bring his weight forward as well? But not only am I bringing it forward, which way am I bringing it? Yeah, it's hit on the X angle. So now I know his weight's gonna go 60 to 85% on this hand, on this side. This is what we want. Everybody with me so far? Last part of this is, again, I don't expect him to just let me do this here, and I go, and I get to corral this and do it. You can do a couple of those if you want to get comfortable with it. But he knows and I know what's going on right here, right? So I actually got in close, my head's in a good position. I'm gonna make him post his hand. I'm gonna find the arm at the bend and then pull it in. So I'm gonna do everything the same. Tip, draw him in forward. He's gonna post his hand. I'm gonna be waiting for it like this, right there. We're gonna finish our sleep. You're gonna be good at the stuff you expect to happen. I expected every one of those things to happen. He didn't just do it for my sake. We've been doing this all week, and these are the actual things I wish I would show you. Yeah, yep. Come on a second. So, right here. So everybody's gonna start here. This is my typical situation. Does everybody also see this? I don't like this. I'm giving up an underhook right here. I'm letting him inside. Yeah, look at it. I don't like, now I have to do what? I have to retreat. I have to try to get this back. Maybe I even have to lay down. So when you're playing here, like this is, knees out, elbows in, I'm gonna play here like this. Now I'm gonna start scooting out to the side, right? So I'll probably do this, honestly, I'm gonna do this. I'll just give him a little bit of a push, and then I can get here like this. Second part, I'm gonna make him put his hand down here. So I'm gonna do this part again, and I'm not gonna get it. But you're gonna see you don't have to put it there if you don't want. Right, but I'm gonna draw him forward like this. I make him put his hand down. We go back. Same thing, I'm gonna finish it again. I'm gonna block it right at the bend of the arm, this, and I'm gonna pull it in, because I want my elbow underneath me. Okay? Get off to the side, head stays close. I'm gonna go draw, bring it in, and we can follow to the mount, or I don't care if you like side control, go side control. I know if you're smaller, for example, I'm not that big either. Man, I might take side control over the mount, depending on who it is. Barrel chest, I might take side control. Right? Question?
For AJ, you said he was shooting hooks, can you just the upper half?
Yeah. The top is only like 35 pounds. It's all from the waist down, is that what it is? Yeah. Alright, we won't question it. Does everybody understand the drill? I like groups 2s and 3s, because that way while I'm coming around to help out, everybody in the groups can kind of like work with each other, game plan a little bit. Does the person on top know what they're doing? Everybody understand the role of the person on top? Don't be a slug. Move into that position, right? I want you to start off at 5%. Just get all of these things down, and then you're going to start to add little things, because ideally we're trying to set this up so it works in live competition. Cool? All right, let's get some reps. 3, 2, 1. This high elbow is awkward, right? It feels like, man, how am I supposed to get my arm there without reaching, without doing whatever? Watch this how he starts it, right? So he's going to start with his elbow on the inside of his knee. and he's gonna just start creeping in, right? When he decides to creep to the side, he's not gonna reach. He's gonna put his elbow and his knee block in there. Go ahead and do it, scoot over. That's all. And he doesn't even have to go that far. He'd move it this way a little bit to be realistic. That's much easier. Does everybody see he didn't even put his arm in yet? But what would AJ do? You think what is AJ gonna do? Go ahead, AJ. He's gonna back up, push him off. Right, all I want you to do is disconnect from that position and have your weight over your heels. Number one thing I'm going to go is, you're going to sit back, push you over. Okay, your first response, you go over. What's the second one? You come right back in and you give me that arm that I wanted. He puts his hand down, he comes back into the position, and I get what I want. I don't want you to overwork it. I want you to be sneaky about it. I was showing these guys, like, if I stand on this side, if I did this from the feet, which I tend to do, I want to get that same elbow underhook. I'm never going to do this and reach. What I am going to do is this. I'm going to start walking my hip in, and now the elbow is just going to be there. Why do I do it that way? Well, if I don't get the elbow, what's he going to do? He's going to try to make it so I have two hands in front, and he's going to give me hands to arm drag, to wrist, to get whatever I want, and I'll get there with an overhook or an underhook. If he pulls his hands away completely, I'm getting the underhook I want. And then we're going to talk about the next thing, which we're going to do at the end of class here, which is coming up soon, once everybody's pretty good with the first part, is when to switch from here to here and lock down the shoulder. Because that's going to be, why would I do that, by the way? I start losing the top of the elbow, though. Right? I'm coming here like this, and they sit back just enough where you feel it. You're starting to lose it right here. And as soon as I get to this point, I'm turning it here, and I'm using my hook grip, and then we're going to come over and we're going to lock that shoulder down. Okay? Yeah. Let's. You guys know how to do this one?
Well, do it. I mean, you'll definitely get it.
So here's my approach on getting in. Right? Instead of just being like, and I have to do this. Right? I'm gonna get here. I didn't even reach for it yet. What's your next move? And then he bringing his hand across in front of my face. So if he didn't go over there, what's he gonna do? Take the hand off in front of the face and post right here. Did I elevate him? I start getting his hips forward. Like, I don't care about anything else. It doesn't have to be a perfect world. I have to make him go, ooh, I know you want this. I don't want you to have that. I'm like, that's cool. I wanted to see what you were gonna do to stop me from getting that. And then we can wrestle our way through the rest of it. I'm a huge fan of arm drags. Why? Because everybody's always framing and putting their hands in front. Everybody should be arm dragging. If I were to start to try to get this, at the beginning of the week, I was like this. I was like, go after this arm and start pulling. And he goes to pull this arm back. And I work myself right into this position. If I need to fix it, I'm going to come here. Now, everybody understands how to do the sweep, right? We all got there? Anybody need to see it one more time? Pretty good? Okay. Here's the next step. And he's just like, I hate this. You see how he's already leaning forward and putting weight on this side? So when I feel like he starts to pull himself back and I lose the elbow, right away I drop my elbow down inside my knee and I get my gable grip. And I'm just gonna hook the shoulder here like this, okay? The sweep is going in the opposite direction. So what I still need is what? Where's his hips? Behind his knees. So that part he still likes. So I'm going to do it in 2 steps so you can see what we need to set to get the next part of the sweep. I always keep this close to my body. I put my other one in and I stretch him out long. I'm not going to the side, we're going over the top. So now as I start this routine, come over the top here and I still have the arm. This is different than how we would go after a pressing arm lock. Pressing arm lock, I'm going to go a little bit more after here. I'm going to be trying to roll the arm over. I don't care what he does with the arm. I want to lock the shoulder in place so he gets stuck in this position. Does that make sense? Where's the transition point? When he's like, yeah, I don't like the fact that he has me doing this. I'm going to sit back off that arm, and when I feel it happening, boom, you just drop your elbow down, and the way I end up getting it is this. So it's like in between the leg too. I'm not giving up an underhook. Everything's pretty well blocked here. And then we come over and get our gable grip and try to pull it down into your chest. So yeah, I'm playing here like this. I might go after his arm a little bit. I just start scooping in. Look how I brought my head in. You see my hand? It's not in yet, but I know my elbow's under his arm. Right? And then I start getting here and I start tipping him. Right? So as soon as he goes to pull that out, I switch. Elbow comes here. And we lock and we pull everything in. Okay? What's the next thing I need him to look like? Hips over knees. right? So I'm gonna scoot over to both butt cheeks, not doing this. Keep everything nice and close. I move over to both butt cheeks and my shins come in and start to stretch them out a little bit. Now the rest of the sweep goes on the X over the shoulder.
Do you prefer to keep both your butterfly hooks in?
It is that way, but if you notice when we switch sides, so it goes from being this to being double butterfly stretch, so I add a little bit to this, so now his hips come forward, and then at the end, when we start to go over this way, this one still acts like you would the other way to help try to lift and get that person.
I've seen this done, and I think Gordon Ryan did it this way. He took one butterfly hook out, and almost like
That is another way of doing it too, yeah. So he'll lift and he'll take the other leg out and put it on top of the other leg on the bottom, and maybe you can do that too. Why would you do that? It depends where you're starting the position from. We're starting it with a very deep hook on that side, right? The hook on that side is all the way in here. So when I scoot back to here, what he's saying with Gordon Ryan is when we get to this position, he's taking his leg out and putting it over the other one, and then he's doing this. And that's probably so the guy doesn't have any chance of maybe doing this and sticking his leg out and trying to get it. I just try to emphasize going this way, stretching the person out long, making them feel like if they post their arm down, it's going to get broken. If you let them go out to the side, they're going to be able to put their hand down. They're going to be able to block it. They might roll over it, but they're going to be able to put that down and block it. You can do that. It's an extra step. I don't know if it's actually needed. And then we did do this on Tuesday, and I was AC, big AC. Yeah. AC guy.
Oh, AT.
Yeah. So he kept sprawling his hips way back and like laying on the leg. And I'm like, first of all, I got a groin injury. I'm not gonna try to lift him. Like, well, what would you do? I'm like, I'm gonna grab his neck. He's just leaving his head out there. Just sprawl. He was like doing this. He's like, yeah, well, what are you gonna do now? Like, I don't know. Guillotine. Now I'm gonna use the guillotine roll, and I'm gonna use that to roll you over, right? And I don't say that to poke fun. I say that like, this is what we're looking for. If I show you a technique, it's just an idea. Ideally, you're gonna go, that's cool, but what would I do? Every time we drill, that's cool, what would I do? I would put my hand here. I wouldn't let you get this. I would do that. Okay, cool, that's how I'm gonna build this game. And then I'm gonna go, every time I try to do this, you said you were gonna do what? Well, we did put his hand there. Okay, cool. How do I do something with that arm that you just extended and left out? What's some of the other things we're looking for? Anytime I'm here like this, if I can get somebody to do this, or to do this, I'm waiting on one side. If I go hard after that shoulder turn, what do I expect in response? Yeah, they're gonna pull back. But guess which one's coming forward? The opposite side. So, to me, like, this is more of the jiu-jitsu than the finishes. This is more than the jiu-jitsu of like, getting to the submission. Like, if you want to get to submissions all the time from all positions, get good at this. And if you're small, this is exactly what you need, right? We need a bit of trickery. When I do this, like, don't reach for this. Okay, if I don't reach for it and I try to put my elbow in, what are you gonna do? It's like, oh, I'll sit back, I'll push you over. You come back and get my arm there. Oh, you sit back a little bit, we're gonna switch to this. See what I'm saying? Like, it's just, we're always looking for the next thing in the chain. So I don't need to die on the first part, but I need to have the very beginning be strong so I can off balance you and make you make one of the mistakes that I want you to make so I can get you to do something else. Nobody really goes to the chessboard on their second move and goes ting, 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 ting. Well, I got that. You haven't even moved all the players yet. It's not even going to be possible, right? So we got to open up the board by having a good first part of this technique, which is drawing, knowing I'm going to get you to do this. Was everybody really able to do it? No? Okay, good. Because one of the main things that I teach at the beginning of the week, I usually try to find a guy that's pretty heavy, and I go, don't let me sweep it. And then I draw this. Right? So if I stay like this and you don't go, guess what happens? Everything else still comes forward like this. And you're like, this sucks. I can put my hands down. Or you look like this and you put your hands down. Either way, that's the part that I want you the best at.
Well, they back out.
Well, okay, now they back out. If I feel it backing out, I'm going to grab that grip. I'm going to change it. If I grab that grip and they drop their level because they know something's coming, what am I going after? I'm going to start getting my front headlock now. I'm going to start grabbing your neck. And it just kind of, hopefully, downward spirals for the other guy. May I need to see this one more time?
I think a lot of people get tunnel vision. They get that focused on that.
That's why I'm saying this.
One thing, and they,
Yeah.
and they can't do that. Oh, I gotta switch to this. Or I
It's
gotta
called
switch
white
to that.
belt, blue belt.
Yeah.
Sometimes
But the thing with me is nobody spelled this stuff out to me when I was coming up. I would ask these questions, and the answer I would literally get was, more mat time, you'll figure it out. That's literally the advice I would get from my coaches. I'm not going to say,
How do you get out of the competition, coach? Don't get there in the first
you'll
place.
figure it out. Well, you know, I would be like, well, I'm a fucking, I would get quiet, I'm like, well, I'm a fucking black belt. I don't get there. Or whatever the case may be. Like, these legitimate answers, which, you know what? I owe them, thank you. Because it forced me to go ahead and figure out the real answers. And then I'm like, I'm going to make the best team because I'm going to give everybody all the answers all the time. I'm not going to hold shit back so I can beat you in the gym. I don't get better unless you guys start beating me with my own game. But if I teach you how to think, everybody here is going to come up with their own game. Most of the coaches started from scratch with me here. Most of them. And other ones came up and they got their black belt from me, but they came up with me. Right? But everybody's been with me for a long time. How different are the coaches here? Very different. You can come here and you can get so many different perspectives. How do they turn out different? It's how you think about what you're doing that sets up your game.
Taught concepts.
What's that?
Taught concepts.
Correct. I'm not teaching you. I'm teaching concepts. Right. How does jiu-jitsu work? And one of the ways the reason I like this class is because I get white belts. At nighttime, I don't get white belts. They're working on with other coaches and stuff, which is great. But at the same time, like they need to, and the coaches are doing a good job of that too. Like install the theory into what we're doing instead of just coming here and working hard. Like anybody wrestle here, like great, they taught you to work hard, right? Fucking get that leg, get that fucking leg again, run it this way, run it that way. He sprawls, get the ankle, turn. Like it's just keep hammering. And I'm gonna say, okay, now we're doing wrestling plus, right? It's wrestling. But we get to grab the neck, we get to put our hands together in positions, we get to put them on your back, you're not losing, you get to choke people, break their arms, break their wrists, like a little bit different game, right? We get a lot of other variables to come into it. So it's essentially it's like checkers to chess, right? You just have that many other options. But the thought process, best wrestlers didn't do it like everybody else did. Do you agree? Like the best wrestlers, like, man, that guy was so funky, he did shit that nobody saw coming. Yeah, that's why you won. You didn't see it coming. It wasn't just he outworked somebody. Everybody can get a hard day's work in. And every day you're not always going to be the number one person. You're going to be more tired that day. You're going to have to work harder the next day. You're already tired. Like working hard is only going to get you so far. But if you pay attention to the little intricacies of the game, that's what's going to get you good at this. There's no way I grapple all day long. I do this class, I lift weights, I'll teach MMA tonight, I'll jump into some of the other classes, I'm doing jiu-jitsu all week long, and everybody wants to roll with me. I'm fine with it. But if I met everybody like this in every round, I can't do that. That's a lot. I'm in good shape. You have to be in tremendous shape to do that all the time. And then you have to not break. Well, that doesn't happen here. Honestly, it doesn't. There's always going to be something. Right? So, the number one thing I want everybody to get, if you can take, can everybody have 5 more minutes to just kind of get this part in your system as an AB? Can we do that? Get the sweep, and then I'll let you go. I understand if you're professionals and you need to leave. Sure, do what you need to do. But to me, talking about jiu-jitsu is sometimes more important than just showing you a bunch of stuff. I need you guys to know why. You're going to grow way faster when you do your own thinking. I even love it when maybe blue belts come up to me and they go, hey, I was thinking about doing this, and what do you think about that? And I think if I did this, and I'm like, awesome. Yeah, do that. And they expect me to shoot it down. Like, oh, really? I thought you were going to say this is stupid. I'm like, no, sorry. Like, who's the best musician? It's them. Who's the best artist? Right? There's so many different ways. Gordon Ryan might technically on paper be the best, but aren't there other people that are absolutely amazing as well? Mika Gabal, you know, like Marcelo Garcia. Like, how far do you want to go down? Even Eddie Bravo has a great place in history. Right? They all contribute to what we're doing. Why? Because they're thinkers. So be thinkers with your game. And then I'll help you figure out all the little nuances. Right? But my job is to help you think. Everybody here knows jiu-jitsu. Now I want you to get fast. I want you to get better fast, but you're going to develop your own game because of it. So let's give about 5 minutes and then I'll let you go home. Cool.
Cool, man.
Thanks.